Japan worthy. Jersey? Redhead just a rap battle. Watch fans backwater, sure 30. Wait, reverse that 30? Sure, awards back. Fans watch battle rap just to hear red Jersey? That hurts me.
Fuck flag, nigga. Cause I'm the stupidest one. 2 arms to both sides of chef. Like he waiting on the food to get done. I'm going to stay calm.
Purchase your ticket to be in the building or catch it live on pay-per-view stream.
In that trailer, when A-Ward's clip comes on, it happens to be what I say is, since that moment, that happened, I think October 2020, that battle. Since October 2020, for me personally, that's the most creative thing that I've seen a battler do in their rounds. How did you come up with that shit? And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about your reverse bar, where you said something going forward. And what's so crazy about what you did was it wasn't just the rap, it was also the performance of you moving towards the camera, performing and saying a bar, and then reversing everything about that. And we put it in the trailer because that shit is just stupid.
Yeah.
How do you come up with shit like that?
You know, that's I don't think a lot of people have an idea of what A-Ward does or doesn't do in battle rap. So like, you know, you get your Rum Nitty's a puncher, your Hitman's a performer, your, you know, T-Top's an angler. When they talk about A-Ward, they just say, look, that dude's fire. You know what I mean? Like he's just, you know, and so I think that's a good thing, is because my opponents rarely know how I'm going to attack them. But with that, I'm always looking for ways to stand out in battle rap. So when Loso and I did the 2-on-2 with Gotti and B-Dot and we finished each other's sentences, that was something that was super innovative and creative. And people were like, yo, did you see? We've never seen anything like that before, you know? And so I take that and I'm like, yo, in these battles, like, I'm always going to be compared to somebody. Well, he don't punch like this person. He don't perform like this person. He might not rebuttal as good as Chef Trez and Sharon or whatever, but nobody can say, yo, the reverse punch that such and such did was better. You know what I mean? Nobody can say. And so that's where my mindset is always trying to find ways, you know, of just doing crazy stuff like that. Against Nestle, I did a piece, and it didn't hit crazy, but I did a piece where I flipped Spanish words and gave the definitions for the word in each line. You know what I mean? Like, and it was weird, you know, it was different. But in my mind, that's how I'm always trying to write. So I wanted to do something crazy different. I had seen people attempt to say and do things forward and backward, you know, in battle raps before, but I wanted it to be airtight. I didn't want somebody to say, well, he said and it's really, you know, I wanted it to be every word forward, backwards. And then I wanted to add another element to it. So in case somebody says, well, I've seen somebody do a reverse punchline before. Well, I need this element too. I need to make sure I'm walking towards the camera. I'm walking back towards the camera, and somehow everything is going, you know? Because my thought was like, yo, if I could do one of those boomerang things where it goes forward and backward or something like that, if I could clip it down, it'll still look, you know, super fire, you know? So that was kind of my mindset with it. And I think that, bro, like, everything works for a reason, you know, like our battle didn't happen in Atlanta. It happened in Newark, you know, like I just think the delivery, like who was around, the feel of it and everything was just 10 times better than me trying to perform that on a stage in it, you know, in that warehouse room in Atlanta or stuff like that. I just think, and I'm glad it happened that way. So, but yeah, that's just me, bro. Just always trying to be innovative, always trying to bring something totally different, and just not put myself in a box to just try to like be the better puncher or angler or whatever. So
that's crazy, man. And one thing that I hope that fans start to take note of, because what happens, I think, battles become known for standout things or things that they tend to put out very loud. For example, one thing that you put out loudly, whether you're doing it intentionally or not, is your rebuttal. You know, when you start off my rebuttal game, crazy, that's going to stick in fans' heads. That's going to stick with the culture. So that's what they start to look to. Me personally, of course, like that sticks for you, but now I'm paying attention to, wait a minute, is this guy one of the most creative battlers on the scene right now? And I think that you deserve to have those type of eyes on you. So like on April 3rd, of course, I'm looking for the rebuttals. And we already know that you're just a high level rapper, but the creativity aspect, you know what I'm saying? And not just the creativity like in your bars or your setup, but doing some of that shit that just makes you say, how did he think of that? Not the necessarily wordplay or the bar, but how did he think about doing that way? Like, it's just a whole nother element that I think is unlocking that fans need to pay attention to when they watch you perform, man.
Yeah, I
Like,
appreciate that
creative
man.
aspect.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's something that as a battler, like sometimes you think that, you know, only the other battle rappers are paying attention to. You know, other battle rappers are like, oh, that's crazy. How did he think, you know? And maybe fans are kind of more just waiting for those moments or whatever, you know? So like, I definitely appreciate. And I also, like, that's the other thing, like as a battler, you have to notice when platforms are working for you and working with you outside of your contracted battle. You know what I mean? Like you're taking that and you're clipping it down and putting it on trailers and you're putting it out when I might not even be contracted to battle for you again. You know what I mean? And that's something else from my standpoint when I'm looking at leagues that I battle on is like, yo, they rock with me. They're helping brand me. They're helping put things out that they've seen that I put a lot of hard work into. And that's dope from that aspect too. So.
Yes, and speaking of, and I'm glad that you're aware of that, and we definitely do our best in that field. And you know, thank you back for even giving us those type of moments. So you know, we love to just return that out there and keep putting that light on people that earned it and deserve it. But speaking of your standout stuff from past and going forward, in case anybody that's watching this overlooks A Ward's past. Why don't you go ahead and give the fans that's watching this some of your key standout battles and moments, whether it be the name of opponent, like let's say Geechee, or a particular bar that you feel like was just so crazy, you just wish that everybody heard it. What's some standout moments that you just want to draw attention to for fans, period?
Oh man, yeah. Well, going back to, I had a battle of the year on battlerap.com, my fourth battle ever against St. Mike in Kansas City, which was probably one of the best small league, small battles I probably, that has ever been done, in my opinion. I had a call and response round in that round, in round two, with some other stuff that went really, really crazy, really, really viral. Then my first battle ever against on King of the Dot against Franchise. I'm in Toronto, I'm by myself, and I come out first round freestyling, and that's just the kind of person that I am. I wasn't like nervous. Oh my gosh, this is the GZ, the Pat Stay and Pet Eyes are hosting it. Like I'm fully, confident in my material, And so, but I battle Franchise, Real Deal, DNA, Cortez, Geechee Gotti, Bill Collector, Chef Trez, O-Red, Danny Myers, Geechee and B-Dot, the list goes on all of the people I battle, Mad Flex, Ilmac, and I'm always on the road. That's the thing, is like Kansas City right now and the Midwest right now doesn't have a platform, that is, or a city that you see events coming to where you're like, oh, A Ward's with his people. You know what I mean? I'm always on the road. I'm only with, if I see other battlers at the events. But, a lot of people talk about the Geechee Gotti battle, with me, being what people consider the clearest loss of Geechee Gotti's career, with the you got two kids that ain't tall enough to slap a backboard, but every week they were touching the glass at visitation. Just some bars like that. The Real Deal bar, you don't lift up in a parachute in the building. You're a gym teacher. You literally lift up a parachute in the building. I got a lot of that stuff, man. And then I think another one is the triple entendre scheme against Bill Collector. In the third round, I did a BC era scheme where I did things that happened in the BC era. And then I did BC era. So I did like 1-2 step, Sierra tracks. And then I did names of cats that battled in Bill Collector's era. So I did Raw, these other people. So
I don't know if I with the way you just explained that shit.
Yeah, third round, the BC era, and like literally the top comment on that video is Danny Myers. It says, "This is the most well-written thing ever in battle rap." Like lyrics, it's got like 2,000 comments.
Shout out to Danny. Danny will be on those YouTube comments, man.
He's not one of them ones. There's a lot of battle rappers who understand their spot is prestigious and they don't want to like uplift other battle rappers too much, which I kind of get it. But Danny's not one of them ones. Danny's always, encourages shout out to him. But yeah. Man, the list goes on, just things that, I've been able to accomplish in only 5 years. And in 5 years, it's gone by really fast. But yeah, I'm excited.
He's not an up-and-comer, man.
And I feel like I'm just like, some people they're at their ceiling, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of like 4 or 5 years in and you're like, yeah, we've kind of seen enough of them. I feel like people are still just like, I can't wait to see more of A Ward. And strategically, I haven't taken or battled everybody in the world. So there's tons of RBE guys I could still battle. There's tons of guys that predominantly battle on URL that I could still battle and have grudge matches. There's tons of guys everywhere that people want to see A Ward against. So I think the longevity of my career is not in bad shape either. So
definitely. Speaking of that, real quick, A Ward versus Big K, but we'll get there when we get there.
For the dog to come out, man.
Yeah, and also A Ward versus Rosenberg, but we'll get there.
Yes.
A Ward versus Shaw, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
That's three real quick that I think has been talked about.
Okay, I'm reloaded.